Photographers lie to themselves all the time. Not because they're bad people, not because they're trying to be fake, but because sometimes the truth hurts a little bit too much. So instead of facing what's really wrong, photographers make up these lies to tell themselves. There's three main ones. It was my gear. The client just doesn't get it. I'll fix it later in post. You guys have heard these excuses before, right? Probably used them yourself. I know I have. But those three little lies will ruin a photography career in a hurry. So in this video, I want to talk about the three biggest lies photographers tell themselves. Because the moment you stop lying to yourself will be the moment that you improve the most. I'm Daniel Martin, as some of you know, some of you may be new. I was a professional photographer for over 42 years, and I like to share my experience with you guys. So let's start with lie number one. It's my gear. Always easy to blame. Now look, gear does matter. I'm not one of those people who said gear doesn't matter at all, because if you're shooting weddings with a Canon AE1 film, nothing wrong with the Canon AE1. I still got one that works from 1980 something, but it's probably not what you need nowadays, being film and 35mm, that sort of thing. So you can be improved upon a lot, make your life a lot easier with better gear than a 45-year-old camera. Good gear makes your life easier. Bad gear will slow you down, that's for sure. The right lens matters, the right light matters, and the right tools matter. But here's the lie. A lot of photographers blame their camera when it's them doing the mistakes, not the camera. It's the photographer's own mistakes making the errors, not the camera's fault. They say if I had a better camera, my shots would look so professional. If I had that new Canon 28-70 f2.0 lens, it would have been spectacular. You just would not believe how good it would have looked compared to what I got. If I just switched from Lumix to Sony, everything would be so much better. These are the lies we tell ourselves. A better camera does not fix ugly backgrounds, doesn't fix bad composition, awkward posing, poor timing, flat lighting, you name it, the list goes on. But it will not fix those problems. But the gear excuse is convenient because it takes the blame off of us and puts it onto something else, because we don't be responsible. It was obviously something besides me, because it couldn't be me, right? Sound familiar? But you don't have a gear problem, you have a seeing problem. And I've talked about this. See the difference? This is if you watch my videos for the last, pretty much since we started the channel, but especially the last few months, I talk about see the difference. And that is the difference between a really good photographer and a photographer that's going to stay average his entire career. You have to be able to see, and you have to see the details, see the difference, pay attention. Last few videos, I've covered a lot of this also. They're not noticing enough. They're not checking enough. They're not moving enough. Move around. Don't stand in just one spot. Refine the way you take your pictures. Get a different angle, see the difference. And until you change that, all the fanciest gear in the world is not going to make your pictures any better. The truth is, better gear can help a good photographer, but it won't rescue bad habits. That's lie number one. Number two, I know you've all heard this, I'll fix it later. I'll wait till post, I'll fix that problem right up. But you don't want to do that. Why not just get it right in the camera? Straight out of the camera, get it right. Not take a half a second or a second extra. Spend the time. I covered it on the last video. I was talking about being patient and don't be in a rush. We like to say, I'll fix it later, because it sounds practical and it sounds efficient, but most of the time it's just procrastinating and spending extra time in software that we don't need to be doing. Photographers say, I'll fix the background later. I'll crop that in later in post. I'll clean up the hair later in Photoshop, just a click of a button. I'll brighten that up a little bit and it'll be perfect, so don't worry about it. Just keep going. I'll sharpen it in post. You've heard all these. You've probably done them all. I know I have. I'm not blaming all you guys. I've done the same thing either early in my career or still bad habits follow me to the day. But we're just trying to get better. So we're trying to all just get better. And that's part of photography. But the lie is pretending that fixing it later is just as good as fixing it now, because it's not. Fixing it later means more time on the computer, more frustration, more compromise, decline in image quality. And let's just face it, some things don't fix that well, unless you're just really good. Like a bad expression, it's not easy to fix later in post. Missed focus is practically impossible to fix in post. Awkward body language, not easy to fix in post either. Bad timing, definitely not easy to fix in post. The photographers who grow the fastest are the ones who stop saying, I'll fix it later, instead of getting it right now in the camera. The photographers who grow the fastest are the ones who stop trying to edit everything in post. They fix what they can before they press the shutter. And that was like the name of my last video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Fix what you can before the shutter. Move the subject, move yourself. Walk forward, walk backward, walk to the side, find a different angle. Keep looking. Clean the frame. Slow down, take a deep breath. A half a second or a second is not going to matter. I know you feel the pressure at weddings and different events. Take a deep breath. 1 second is not going to matter. Take your time, get the image right. Solve the problem while you still can. Don't depend on Photoshop or whatever editing software you use to fix it later. Editing is there to polish the photo, not there to fix an entire photo shoot. The truth is, saying I'll fix it later is kind of like saying, I know this is wrong, the way I've got it set's wrong, but I'm just going to keep doing it that way. I'll fix it later. Just fix it now. It'll save you so much time later. Plus, you'll be better in your camera, knowing your settings. There's just so much to be said for getting it right in camera. And that second habit will definitely hold a photographer back. Number 3, they just don't get it. The client does not get photography like me. I can see a beautiful image. This bride don't know anything. She's not smart like me. She's not a trained professional. She just can't see what I see. I'm very artistic. This one shows up in all kinds of ways. Photographer takes a picture and nobody responds to it like he thought they were going to. I've had that problem. I've shot a picture and thought, man, this is beautiful. They're going to love it. They don't even mention it or order it. Throws me off sometimes. The model didn't understand what I was trying to do. The audience just has bad taste. People only like trendy stuff, and that can be true sometimes. My viewers just don't appreciate quality. Now, to be fair, some clients don't have the best taste. Some audiences do chase trends, and that part is true. But here's the lie. Using that as an excuse to asking yourself, could you have done better? Maybe the communication was weak. Covered that in the last few videos. Maybe the expression felt forced. Maybe the concept was a little bit muddy. Maybe the image didn't directly connect with them emotionally. Maybe the photo was technically good, but it's not interesting. The hard truth is photographers don't want to always face is to admit the world must be blind instead of you did something wrong. Always be there, please the client with what they like. And this doesn't happen with just clients. It happens on YouTube, Instagram, portfolios, everywhere you go. You're going to have this sort of problem. Photographers often protect our big egos with these excuses. But the truth, sometimes people really don't get it. But sometimes your work wasn't where it should be. And the only way to get better is to be honest about it. Look at the image and say, what could I have done better that they would have liked? You're there, you're hired by your client. You do what your client likes, not what you like. So why do photographers believe these lies? To protect the ego? That's really it. That makes failure feel less personal, makes mistakes feel more manageable, and it gives us something else to blame besides us, because it could be anything in the world except for us. Not us. We could not possibly be the problem, could we? We blame our gear, possibly the editing, the audience, the model, the algorithm, you name it. Anything but us. And every photographer does this at some point, but that's where you keep practicing so that you can grow. Don't try to do everything your way. Get to know your client, get to know their style, work that direction. The problem is not that the lie exists. The problem is when it becomes a habit, because when it becomes a habit, improvement slows down. And once improvement slows down, frustration takes over big time and you'll start to decline. So that's the 3 big lies I think photographers tell themselves. It's my gear, I'll fix it later, or they just don't get it. Let's start looking at ourselves some and see what we can do better. Guys, I appreciate your time for watching the video. I hope you learned something. I try to share with you what I've learned over the years. If you have any questions, just leave a question down at the bottom and we'll get back to you. Appreciate your time more than anything. You guys have a great day. Thank you.